Okay, so that time now where we are joined, policing with you, and in studios with me this morning, so far, is the lovely, lovely Inspector Edwards. Very good morning to you. And how are your day going so far? Hold on. Okay, let's go again. Let's start over. I think we had a problem here where you were punched out of the board. So once again, good morning to you, Inspector Edwards.
Good morning, Ronnie, and how are you doing?
I am good so far. Seeing your lovely face in studio, looking all, bright and shiny. Look like there's no lot of work to do. I'm just teasing.
That is far from the truth. Far from the truth.
I know. I just wanted to pull that out so that you can, sort of expound on all that. Oh man, I know you guys are strapped right now.
Yes.
And you have one more big month that is coming up, and you're gonna be extra strapped.
And believe me, it is tiring already, and we have not even had all of the events given to us as yet.
You haven't had anything as yet.
But that's what I'm saying. No, there have been some advertisements. There have been some advertisements about some shows and thing, but nothing official.
Okay.
So I know that we have our work cut out for us.
Definitely.
For the whole month of December.
Yes,
right.
I expect that.
And, we were bombarded with community festivals as well. St. Peter's had theirs just the other day. And Village-A-Rama is continuing theirs this week. They have a set of football matches and family feud games. And they're climaxing on Saturday with Exquisite. A group of persons who are having a paid, what we call it, dance.
Paid event.
A big event.
Yeah, paid
it's
event.
A big event.
Well, so far you guys are doing a wonderful job. So far, so good.
Well,
we have kept everything nice and mild so far. So
we are trying our best. We are trying our
best.
best.
Your presence is being noted.
Thank you very much,
yes.
Ronnie. While I await my guest, Sergeant Maguire, he is in charge of Sandy Point Police Station. I would like to thank a number of persons who would have engaged us during my community engagement activity that was held last week, Wednesday. Mm-hmm. We were in the Limekeel area and in Cabbage Tree, Keon. And I just want to say thank you to Brenda Clark, Myrtle Brooks, Herman Rollins, Don Descent, Glenn Edwards, England, Ezroy Mills, Miss Phipps, BB, Miss Edwards, Sandra Liddy, Mr. Jules, Janice Lim, William Vanterpool. We have some more here. We have Levi Percival. We have Augustus Mills. We have Yvonne Phipps. Atiba Francis. And all those drivers for Valley's Tent Rental. Thank you very much for meeting us and sharing with us. Those were the persons from... Oh, and there's a Mr. Brian. Yes. He was very good to us. He would have called us into his place and offered us drinks. And we had praise and all of that. And so, yes, we are grateful to those persons in the Limekeel for their hospitality.
Sounds very good.
Yes.
Sounds very good. So that's a new program that you guys are doing, or it has been going on for a while?
No, it's not new. It's just
I remember it started some point in time.
Yes, we just don't do it often enough.
Okay, you need to do it more often, yeah.
Yes, so what we do, at times we come together and we decide this is what we need to do. And we'll go out and we'll meet people where they are.
What about police who live in areas? Do you guys sort of encourage them to sort of, go around?
Yes, they do that.
Yeah?
They do that.
Okay, good.
Sometimes, most of the time, well, one of the feedback that we got was that sometimes you will see the police vehicle. And I got that from a man in Keon. His name is, he's a Liebird. Francisco Liebird. he would have indicated that for all the years that he was living on that particular street, the police never once stopped and spoke to him.
Yeah,
They would drive past, and when he saw us, he was amazed.
Yeah.
He said, listen, I am going to call my friends in the States now and tell them that the police come, and they stop there and they talk to me and they share tips and so with me.
There you
So
go.
you're right. So sometimes we really need to go
Yes, you
out
got to bring
and-
back. You got to bring back police in
Yes.
the community. Definitely.
Yes,
That's
and
lagging.
one person would have indicated that this reminded him of when he was a youth growing up, where the police used to actually come into the community. And I want to give a big shout out to him. He's a Mr. Let me get the name again. Mr. Pemberton. He used to be a teacher. Right? And he said that was over 50 years ago.
Wow.
Yes, so
Wow.
I'm quite happy to those persons in Limekeel, and I just want to mention some from Cabbage Tree area in Keyon. We have a Miss Glencia Hobson, we have Anthony Drew, Shedrack Dawson, Shane Dorr, we have a Miss Wilson, we have Geraldo Herbert, we have Carmel Bailey, Laurie McCall, Randy Keynes, Vincent McCoy, and then we have Mr. Pemberton, of course, and Mr. Francisco Leiben. Thank you very much for meeting with us and sharing your experiences. It was a welcome gesture from you, and we are happy that we could have shared information with you as well.
All right. Well, guys, keep up that good work. That is very good.
Thank you very much,
Policing
Ronnie.
is very, very important among the communities.
I know that.
The old days we used to know each other, you know. Like,
I know.
I remember Maguire when he was small. Now he's a big guy, you know.
Yes, Ronnie, I can identify, because
Definitely.
when I came here in the police force, I met him too, and he was not much bigger than I am right now.
Yeah, he was.
So,
So, Maguire?
Maguire, welcome to the studios, and thank you.
Welcome, Inspector. Ronnie, good morning to radio listeners.
Good morning, sir.
Thank you for keeping the inspector engaged while I get here. I've been listening, and it will been quite engaging. So
Yes.
thanks.
Thank you as well.
Yes.
Right, and in the studio we have Sergeant Maguire. He is the person responsible for the Sandy Point district. Recently, new position. So for all those who are listening, he'll be giving us some information as to what he is doing, what he will do, and how he will be assisted by the officers and by you, the general public. So good morning again to you, Mr.
Yes,
Maguire.
morning again, Inspector, and to our radio listeners.
Yes.
Yes, I have recently been assigned at the Sandy Point Policing District as the sergeant in charge. And so Sandy Point has always been, continues to be a challenging district to police, apart from its developing, expanding. So it's a very large district. Nonetheless, that the police continue to endeavor to be effective in its performance, and one of it has to do with the community cooperation, the cooperation of the community. So it means, therefore, that in order to continue to have that ongoing presence, that the police has to be visible. The police has to be engaging, and the police has to continue to be in position to really continue to improve on the working relationship between the police and the residents of that policing district.
Okay.
And so, as we interact, there are some things based on what we will be discussing that I will highlight in relation to my new undertaking.
Okay. Okay, can you share the initial thoughts with reference to you taking up the position there as the sergeant, and what is your vision
Right.
for police in the district?
Right. Well, it's not the first time I've been working in the Sandy Point district.
Okay.
I would have worked there back in 2012.
Wow.
Right up to 2013. At that time, I was a corporal.
Okay.
So I would have worked the district with the late former Sergeant Brown,
Leonard Brown, yes.
Right, he was the sergeant, I was the corporal, and we had a very good team going. But I must admit that during that time, I didn't really fit into the district. It's one of the districts that I find wherever I work, it takes a longer time
To fit
for
in?
me to fit into it. But I find that this time it's a little bit much easier than the last time when I worked there. So it's been a long time.
Yes.
So I'm still reacquainting myself with the different areas and the persons. My perspective of policing district, as you would aware, inspect, that wherever I go, I always one of my thrusts or focus is really community engagement, community
Yes.
policing, community engagement.
Yes.
I would have done so when I was at Old Road Policing District, where I would have initiated a district advisory group
Yes.
and crime prevention and community policing. The reason for that, I believe that crime prevention and community policing is a shared responsibility, a shared partnership.
It is.
And once you're able to identify the right kind of stakeholders, and at the same time you are open to get suggestion, recommendation, I think that can help to strengthen the relationship between the police and the community. And so that is something that I would have done when I was at Keon Policing District. The first thing I did, I went at a time when there were considerations for some traffic diversion, and so it was much debated
Wow.
among the residents, and so as a result, to engage the residents and the community as a whole, we would have had a town hall format meeting
Yes.
where the commissioner and the deputy commissioner and the division superintendent were in attendance.
Yes.
That was quite received. Shortly before I left Keon Policing District, at the point of me proceeding on vacation leave, there was a stench of robberies, you would recall.
Yes. Yes.
And so, as a result, again, I would have engaged the business community as well.
Yes.
And we would have had some very, very good suggestions that come forward. So I do not intend to do anything different, because I think it's a working model.
Yes.
And I wish that other policing district can adapt that kind of framework. So it is my intention to continue that same style of that strong community engagement emphasis. So it's just a matter to help the officers to really understand the importance of that, so that you can have the right kind of buy-in to what you really want to accomplish. I know when I was in Keon also, I was able to establish partnership with the Green Valley Committee. Festival Committee, and that partnership would have heeded the same business forum, because that was chaired by the chairperson of the committee. And so I know in Sandy Point they have the Black Sun.
Yes.
So it is my intention to engage
the committee
that
as well.
committee as well, if there is such a organized and structured committee as Green Valley, and try to build the partnership. I also intend to engage the business personnel and other stakeholders within the policing district, with stress from Gathering got right down to Newton Ground.
Yes.
And so we intend to really have a very visible presence in terms of policing. This morning, the reason for my delay is because we had just completed an operation.
Yes.
In terms of that, we did a VCP and we conducted some searches, and that was very successful. So we want to, and the community has been quite cooperative and understanding. I know sometimes our activities can bring some inconvenience,
yes,
and there might be some frustration to some extent, but I believe that the community is understanding that this is necessary to reassure and to really ensure that the criminal elements are being continued suppressed,
yes,
and keep at bay so that we can really have that reduced level of crime. Since I've been at Sandy Point, there has been a stint of housebreaking.
Yes.
And so CID District B and Sandy Point Police Station, the operation was done jointly. And so we are trying to see how best we can really cut back and that seeming trending in that area.
Visibility in the community that would assist in this
is
manner.
Very important.
Right.
Yeah.
So how do you plan to maintain visibility in the
Right.
community?
Well, so the thrust is how you can have better methods of engagement. And so community engagement serves as one of the most vital aspects of trying to harness that mutual trust and that close working together with the community. And so it's not always to be with visibility to take an enforcement posture,
Right.
but also to be
Proactive.
able to listen and to hear concerns and see and basically reassure persons as to the importance of maintaining that connection with the police, in relation to that. Sandy Point District is a very dense community, a lot of residents, and so sometimes it could pose some difficulty to really have that kind of smooth engagement and so on, but we are trying our best in relation to that. Perhaps the police need to do more activities that can engender that working relation, and I think I want to commend the Unique Touch
Ministries,
because there was a community engagement with the crime campaign on the 14th, and it was well attended. And so things like these, more of it need to happen, and that will be able to rebuild the trust of residences.
Okay. Thank you so far, Mr. Maguire, for those very thoughtful and invokeful comments. We'll take a break here and then we'll come back.
Yes.
And when we do come back, we'll take questions from the audience and all those who are listening. You want to contribute, you will call back after these messages.
Tune in for Policing with You, a half-hour radio program every Thursday morning at 9:15 on ZIZ Radio. Join host as he focuses on crime, factors contributing to criminal activity, crime prevention, and how the community can assist the police in reducing crime. It's Policing with You every Thursday morning at 9:15 on ZIZ Radio. Join us.
Hey, guess what? It's Radio Market. Call in and sell your merchandise. You can negotiate, give and trade.
We on radio, internet, and TV.
Like us, share us, and subscribe to
ZIZonline.com.
And remember, we don't sell nothing over $5,000.
Call
Radio Market, every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. Call 465-2555, 662-8674 or 718-577-2916. ZIZ Radio, giving back to the people.
It has been 2 years since Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew led his team to victory at the polls and assumed the reins of government. He and his team came to office on the promise of restoring our nation to its glory days, when good governance assured every citizen and resident was guaranteed economic stability and employment, quality healthcare and education, modern housing, and visionary social protections. But where are they now? And how do they measure up in delivering on the promises made to the people of St. Kitts and Nevis? Join me, Ebony Brandon, on ZIZ Television each Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Fridays at 8 p.m. for the limited episode series, The Nine, an Era of Transformation. As together we explore how the Dr. Terence Drew-led government has followed through on their commitment to transforming the nation into the world's first sustainable island state.
Welcome back to Policing with You. I'm your host, Inspector Shauna Francis Edwards, and I have with me Sergeant Maguire, the officer in charge of Sandy Point Police Station. And we are continuing. Good morning, caller.
Hello, Inspector Edwards.
Yes, please. Good morning.
Am I on?
Yes,
this is
you are.
John Brother calling you from New York.
Yes.
I heard you said something about some guy named Mr. Pemberton said how they used to interact with the police back 50 years ago.
Yes.
I'm in that age range, and that's true. A lot of the police that I grew up with, we went to school together. So we had a good working relationship amongst us. And some of the police that used to come from Barbados, and we had a good relationship with them. So a lot of them guys do community police like Robert Frederick, Mitch Aubrey Williams, and police like that. They know us because we grew up together. So we never was an adversary to the police. And that's what the community police. So what you're saying is well taken, because I had that experience growing up in St. Kitts, living in West Mongat, which is Irish Town. So that's very nice of you to say that. And Inspector Edwards, I hope in my lifetime I'll see a female commissioner of St. Kitts and Nevis Police Force. This is Jamnum Brother, Sonny Boy, signing out.
Thank you very much for your contribution, sir. Right. Yes, Mr. Maguire. That was sweet. Which part of it sweet, you know?
The female commissioner.
Female commissioner, I know. I know.
Well, Antigua has realized that.
Yes. St. Lucia too.
And St. Lucia, yes. Right,
St. Lucia was last year. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's possible. It's possible. We can't rule it out.
and even in St. Vincent, you have my cousin, Dr. Blake.
Yes. Oh, she's related to you.
She's my cousin, yeah.
I know her. Mm-hmm. She's a very, very intelligent young lady.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Good morning, caller.
Good morning. I just called to ask you all to have some sort of training with these younger police, because this morning I had a situation which was so embarrassing. The police back in front of, in front of the Island Bakery outlet there at the bus terminal. When the light was green, I stayed behind him. I blow for a while till the red light come on. A woman police came up and handed me a bag with bread. She got another thing and she went back in. She came back by the door and said, like, they didn't have something. And I've been blowing. When she came out, this time now the light don't turn again. This is about 3-4 minutes. She looked at me and she said like this, what happened to you all ass? You in a hurry? What you doing here? I was look at her. I said, oh my God, what you doing hush your fat donkey? No. When the guy turned off in the police vehicle, he stick his middle finger out and then turn into the bus terminal. And she looked at me and said, I know you're not, I mark you. Stand.
Yeah, we should report it to the professionals.
At this point, yes, at this point, caller, reporting this to the professional standards would be one of the best decisions for now, but I will look into it still, nonetheless. Okay, thank you very much for the information.
Okay, we go back to the phone lines, but before we do so, for that caller, do remember, it's okay to say what the person said in person, but on air we can't allow that to go out on air. That's not nice at all. So, in the future, you make a call like this
to the police station.
Yes, do that. Okay, so we go back to the phone lines.
Thank you very much. Good morning, caller.
Greetings.
Yes, greetings.
Greetings to you and your fellow officer. Okay. First of all, we want to wish you all the best in your undertakings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're most welcome. We love the sound about the community policing because that's the way it used to be and it used to work. I heard you spoke about other lots of things that you accomplish and seeking to accomplish during that time. One of the things I would like is answer the first caller kind of the officers need to be more friendly. We always said, we keep echoing that word on the police department, force, it needs to be removed, because somehow it have something on the psyche of police officers, especially the young ones,
Right.
And they're coming from old school where Mr. Hanley, Meredith, and the rest of them. It wasn't about that, It was about doing thorough investigation and being friendly with the community and getting information whilst doing so. So we want to implore the police department to keep in that line of being friendly with even those who are identified as bad hand in the community. Be friendly with them. Yeah? Because we are one. And once again, all the best.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome.
Yeah, caller, if I should really, the point that you made in relation to the word force, it can have a psychological effect. I think that is something that is being under consideration throughout the region because, like, for example, I think that's why Trinidad have police service.
Yes.
But we within the Leeward, mostly the OECS, we have not really given it the kind of consideration that it needed to. But I think that is something that really can be looked into and have some serious discussion about in relation to that, and it can help to enhance and re-image the police force as well, because really what we are doing is really a service, and the service can connote a more friendlier in terms of law enforcement and so on. As a matter of fact, there have been discussion and research in relation to a new method or a new way of doing policing. And so all that can be taken into consideration. So thanks for that suggestion.
All right. Sergeant Maguire, we know that there is a lot of youth. And when we say youth, we're talking about children under the age of 18. Juveniles, child, whatever we want to call them. How do we plan to engage these and make them become better citizens of the community and the country as a whole?
Right. So, as you ask the question, my mind immediately go back to the days of the DARE program, the Drug Abuse Resistance Education program. And that's a program, unfortunately, that did not continue or become longevity. Its longevity be really be seen as such that it should be continued. And I hope we can still look at it. I know presently that the Sergeant Odin, they're doing a very good job, because up to yesterday I was in the finance office and I looked up and I saw a photograph with the summer camp.
Yes.
And that was back in 2017.
Wow.
And it was quite a number of young people.
Yes.
And so, yes, there is always a need, and it is very important, because as we know, young people nowadays, it can be a little bit more challenging than before. And so the police should really always have as part of its planning initiatives that will seek to engage young people. So that is something that I can look at from the Sandy Point end. But I think the DARE program could be a very good, the return of the DARE program, because that have some extracurricular activities that you can, in terms of different ways, you can address certain issues that directly affect young people, and that would make the program so potent, so it's something that I hope that would be able to be relooked and see what things can be done from that perspective.
So the intention is to go into the schools. The DARE program is for primary and secondary, or?
Well, the DARE program was covering not only during school, but after school as well. It has a parent component, and you have other components that it takes in. So it is a very holistic program in relation to where you have aspect for like the parents and as well as the children and the community. And that's what I liked about the DARE program, because of its holistic approach.
Right, so everybody is involved.
Yeah, everybody.
In the development of the child.
Yeah, everybody. It includes everybody. And so it's initiatives like these we should really relook and rethink and see how we can really better engage and re-engage the youth. Yes.
As we realize, we have had a lot of issues with youths committing crimes and stuff, and we really need to divert their attention to something more positive.
Right, and even Neighborhood Watch. Neighborhood Watch is a traditional method of policing, but it is very effective, because what it does, it teaches each one to look out for each other. And if you get that kind of community spirit passed on to the younger persons, it will be something that you can have, that you are able, because it become formal in terms that it be so customary. And
it becomes innate after,
right, innate and so on. So, and the volunteerism in terms of that, to really see something, or try to look out for your neighbor when your neighbor is away, is really a civic aspect that can be enjoyed.
It also shows that you care, and that you have love for your neighbor as well.
Right. Exactly.
Because Good morning.
Hello, Inspector Edwards.
Yes, please. Good morning.
I'm calling you back from New York. I have a question. Do Sinkers have any police cadet? Like the young people become police cadet and then eventually they become a full police, like in the army?
No, we do not have police cadets.
I think that would be a good idea. If you get some young people when they're like 14, 15 years old, they become police cadet, and then they have a choice when they get old enough, they could become policemen and stuff like that. That's what they do in America. But I thought they had that in St. Kitts too. So that might be a good suggestion.
Well, we will take your suggestion
you
on
will make
board.
inroads into the gang membership. If you have young guys have a police cadet on the weekends, they have things to do with the police them, and they got to go and learn how to be good officers and stuff like that. That's just an idea.
Yeah.
That I'm putting up.
That is a very, very good suggestion. Because take me for example, coming from St. Vincent, I was a police cadet. The difference with the police cadet, you have, well, in St. Vincent you have the cadet like the defense force.
Yes.
And they have the police cadet where you basically learn, because you have the police band. So you are trained to play music. You learn to play music, and when you reach the age 18, you decide if you want to continue or become a police officer.
Okay.
And so I have had that experience. I'm a beneficiary of that. I know former ACP Assistant Commissioner of Police Adams,
yes,
at some point initiated the Boys
Club, yes,
and that was going very well. But somehow it fell along the way, and so that what the caller is suggesting is a very, very good initiative to consider. Yeah,
that is true.
Wrap up.
Yes. Just two final questions, Sergeant Maguire. The community feedback is vital for us so that we could know what we are doing wrong, what we are doing right. How do we plan to create the opportunity for the residents to share their concerns and suggestions with the police station?
Right. As I said when I started, is that I believe in community engagement.
Yes.
That's one method how you can get feedback from the community. You can conduct surveys or questionnaires in relation to the police response, or the police is serving the community. I did that when we were in Keon. And as I said, one of the main reason for initiating the committee, the advisory committee, that's why it was termed the Advisory Committee on Crime Prevention and Community Policing, was mainly to have that channel to get feedback from residents in relation. We provide information and they give us feedback as to how we can improve and better serving them. Yeah, so these are things that are in place. It's just a matter that what has really been fall off, even from a strategic standpoint with the high command and so on, can make a policy decision as to things that we can really hold fast to, that are beneficial to and complements what we are doing as an overall strategy of the police force in terms of community policing. Yeah.
Right. And I know that when we build these bridges and we develop trust and all of that, we do get crime solved.
We can see dividend. We
do get crime solved as well.
Because we get a lot of support from the community. We get a lot of information. The community is more inclined to and feel more obliged, because it goes back to the spirit of policing and traditional policing. We saw Robert Peel.
Yes.
Where it becomes a civic responsibility. And so we see where everything really interrelated and interconnected with what we are doing. It's just a matter for us to really be strategic and determine what is being prioritized and what is basically being held up as what we are the thrust for what we want to do and accomplish as a police force.
I understand.
Yeah.
I guess maybe that's why when I was doing the community engagement last week, we had persons asking if we are the ones who will be coming back to them time and time again. Right. And I had to say...
The community like that. That has been my experience. They like the presence of the police. They like the engagement with the police. and so on. It just means that we have to do more of it, and I believe when we do more of it, then the relationship is strengthened and our work become easier.
I agree.
So it just have to be that consistency,
and it entails all the police districts will have to do this.
Yeah,
not just a one-off.
Right.
Because what I did was a joint thing with other police departments, and we split up in teams and we went to these areas.
Great.
We do not belong to those areas, but we are all police officers, so we had no problem in sharing our knowledge and meeting the residents where they are. But I would encourage the other police stations, when you go out, make sure you visit there's a lot of shut-ins. There's a lot of shut-ins because we met a lot in Limekeel.
Right.
There's a lot of shut-ins. Knock on the door. Tell them you're there. Reassure them.
Even some who would have served as police officers.
Yes, as police officers.
And retired and so on.
Yeah. That is so true.
Yeah.
Any last thoughts?
Well, what I will want to say, Inspector, is that I think that we are really on the right track with the whole community policing effort. You can measure the effectiveness in relation to when you see, because I believe sometimes one can relate and say, well, the low crime era, the reduction that we have been seeing in the crime is as a direct result of our constant and ongoing interaction with the community.
Okay.
And so I will want to continue to encourage residents, law-abiding citizens, to really let us continue to build on the efforts, because I am a really strong believer that fighting crime and preventing crime is really a shared responsibility.
It is.
And so I look forward to continue having discussion, having engagement with the community as to how we can better serve the community.
Thank you very much, Sergeant Maguire. And thank you, listeners, wherever you are. We are grateful for your questions, and we are happy to provide answers. For the person who would have called in about the report, remember, make that report at the Bastia Police Station. It will be put on to our internal affairs, and I will look into it for you. Thank you very much, and Godspeed.
About justice? What to know about love?